everyone, my name's Carlin. Today's flow is a strong and sweaty vinyasa flow. So we'll be moving with our breath, flowing through a lot of different postures, and it was designed like a ladder flow. So each time in our standing sequence, we'll add on a pose. So we'll be doing lots of vinyasas, lots of chaturangas. So feel free to skip them whenever your body gets tired of them, or feel free to keep doing them to build heat. So let's get started at the top of the mat in mountain pose. Close your eyes for a moment here. Bring the big toes to touch. A little gap in the heels, about the size of a small piece of cheesecake. Engaging through the legs. Belly button pulls in and up, activating the core. Shoulders relaxed down the back. Just take a couple deep breaths here to come onto your mat. Feeling really rooted down and really strong in this mountain pose, standing nice and tall. Spine is nice and long. We'll be doing lots of flowing, lots of moving, lots of heat building in this class. So use these last few breaths to just quiet the mind. Maybe set an intention for this class. Remember that intentions are always positive. And let's take one cleansing breath together to begin. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up the belly. And exhale, side out through the mouth. Inhale, reach up and look towards the fingertips. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center as you start to fold forward. Maybe the knees are bent in this first forward fold. And then from here, just let the head and neck hang heavy. Separate the feet hips distance apart. About 2 fist distance in between the feet. Bend the knees a lot. You can grab onto opposite elbows here. Shake the head, yes and no. We'll be doing a lot of binds in this class, opening up the shoulders. So we'll start opening up the shoulders now, interlacing the fingers behind the back, straightening through the arms, tucking chin to chest. And maybe slowly starting to bring the hands up and over the head. If you want a little bit of stretching in the hamstrings, you might reach the tailbone to the sky to start to straighten the legs. And from here, keep the fingers interlaced. Go ahead and take them to either the left lower back or all the way over to the left hip crease. Straightening through the right leg, bending the left leg a lot, and taking your gaze up and over your right shoulder. Keep sending that right shoulder back in space and pressing firmly through the right heel, straight and strong through the right leg. Take another inhale here. And exhale to come back through center, lifting the hands up and over the head. And then bringing the hands to the right low back or the right hip crease, straightening through the left leg, bending the right knee a lot, opening through that left shoulder and taking your gaze up and over the left shoulder. Again, this time we're sending our left shoulder back in space, creating that opening. Preparing us for binds later in class. Take one more inhale here, and on your exhale, make your way back to center. Hands go up and over the head once more. And then you'll slowly start to release the fingertips to the ground, tucking the chin to the chest, and rolling all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. We'll take our first sun salutation in A, really slow. So either keeping the feet hips distance apart, or maybe bringing the big toes back together, little gap in the heels. Inhale, lift up and look up. And take a couple breaths here. Lengthening through the spine while still relaxing the shoulders. One more inhale. And on your exhale, hands come through heart center, hinge forward at the hips and fold. Again, you can keep a slight bend in the knees so that the palms touch the ground. Taking an extra breath here. And then inhaling to lift up halfway. Fingertips come to the mat or maybe to the shins. Sending the crown of your head and your tailbone in opposite directions. Spine is nice and long. And a theme here, our shoulders are away from our ears. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, step back to your plank pose. Again, we'll take 3 breaths here. Feeling super strong through the core, the legs, the biceps. 2 more breaths. After your 3rd exhale, you'll start to rock the toes forward, sending the shoulders past the wrists, keeping the spine in one nice long line, bending at the elbows, lowering down halfway, and taking 2 deep breaths. Inhale, come to the tops of the feet. Find your upward facing dog. So the tops of the feet and the hands are the only parts of the body that are making contact with the mat. Again, take a couple extra breaths here. Maybe gazing over one shoulder and then the other. And eventually flipping over the toes and coming back to your downward facing dog. We'll be in this first down dog for about 5 breaths. If you wanted to warm up the spine a little bit more, you might drop the knees, take some cat-cows, maybe stretching out the wrists. You can stay in down dog to get your wiggles out, that's fine too. Moving however it feels good in the body. Eventually we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. From down dog, you'll bend the knees a lot. Take your gaze to the top of the mat. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhaling to look up halfway and exhaling to fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come through heart center and back to mountain pose. So we'll take our next 2 sun A's, moving breath to movement. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump through Chaturanga Dandasana. High plank to low plank, to upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. Remember, you can always rest in a child's pose at any point during class, especially in downward facing dog. If you want to build a little bit more heat in this down dog, bring the forearms down to the mat at the same time and walk the toes in a little bit closer to the elbows. Find your dolphin pose. When you come back to your dolphin pose, when you come back out of your dolphin pose, you'll press into both hands at the same time. You're back in downward facing dog. Bend the knees a lot. Walk or take a little hop, feet to hands. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, hands come through heart center and back down to mountain. Last sun A, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. I'm gonna find a twist in my down dog this time, stepping my feet in a couple of feet's distance in towards my fingers, bringing them out wide, and then reaching under my right hand. Left hand comes to right calf, shin, thigh, twisting underneath the right armpit. And then moving back to center, pressing into the left hand, weaving the right arm underneath it, grabbing onto the left calf, shin, thigh, whatever you've got. And then slowly make your way back to center, finding your typical downward facing dog. Bending into the knees, taking your gaze to the top of the mat. Take a little hop, feet to hands. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come through heart center and to mountain pose. So we've already built a good amount of heat in the triceps, in the shoulders, moving through those chaturangas. So we're getting into our ladder flow now. Feel free to skip any of the vinyasas and just step right back to downward facing dog. Just listen to your body today. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, high to low plank or right back to downward facing dog. Moving through your own vinyasa with your own breath. When you get to your down dog, you'll lift the right leg up on an inhale. Exhale, step it through in between the hands. Inhale to rise, warrior one. We'll stay in this first warrior one for 3 breaths. Pulling right hip back, left hip forward. Left leg is straight and strong. Right knee is stacked over right ankle. Shoulders are relaxed. After your 3 breaths taken, inhale to interlace the fingers behind the back. Open up through the heart, breathe in. Exhale, humble warrior. Fold to the inside of the right knee. So you can shimmy that right foot closer to the right side of the mat to create a little bit more space for your shoulder to just go right inside of the right knee. Deep breaths here. We'll stay in this first one for 2 to 3 breaths. We'll flow through the others a little bit more quickly. On your next inhale, really press into the right heel. Rise all the way back up, warrior one. Reach the fingertips to the sky. And then plant the hands, step back to your high plank, vinyasa, or skip it. We'll take that on the other side. When you get to down dog, inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to rise, warrior one. Exhale, settle in. This time, left hip comes back, right hip pulls forward, right leg straight and strong, left heel underneath left knee. Just about 2 more breaths here.
Enjoying this moment of stillness. And on your next inhale, start to interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze shoulders together, open heart. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. And from your humble warrior, you might walk the left foot out to the left side of the mat, creating a little bit more space. Still pulling left hip back and right hip forward. Take a couple breaths here. Think about sending the breath into the shoulders. Start to press really firmly into the left heel. On your next inhale, use that press and the strength of your core to rise all the way back up. Warrior one, fingertips reach high. And then plant the hands, step back to your high plank, vinyasa, or straight to down dog. So we'll add on, this time taking that on the right side, adding on one more posture. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Just 2 breaths here this time. Next, inhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Take a chest opener. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. Again, just 2 breaths. And from here, instead of coming back up to warrior one, keep the hands interlaced. Lift up the chest halfway, spine is long. Hovering over the right thigh. Come onto the ball of the left toes. Send your weight into your right heel and eventually lift up, warrior three, with these interlaced arms. Squeeze inner thighs together. Flex the left foot. You might have a little back bend here. 2 more breaths. Focus on something that's not moving. And then slowly start to bend the right knee. Step all the way back to your warrior one. Inhaling to rise. Exhale, plant the hands. Vinyasa, right to down dog, yogi's choice. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Hold for 2 breaths. Next, inhale, interlace the hands, open the heart. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. 2 breaths. Inhale, look up halfway, hover the torso over the left thigh. Come onto the ball of the right toes and slowly come into your warrior three. Weight is in the left foot. Inner thighs squeeze together. Fingers pull towards the right foot, still opening the shoulders and the chest. 2 more breaths. Slowly start to bend into the left knee. Send that right foot all the way back and find your warrior one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, plant the hands and flow. Adding on even more, starting to get nice and sweaty. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one, just a breath. Next, inhale, interlace hands. Exhale, fold. Just a cycle of breath here. And then inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, warrior three. 2 breaths this time. We're changing it up. So this time, bend into the right knee. We'll step all the way back to a high lunge. So bringing the left toes all the way back, pressing that left heel behind you like you're pressing it into a wall. And then bring the fingertips up to the sky. Take 2 or so breaths here. And then we'll find a little bit of movement. So on your inhale, we find this high lunge. On the exhale, we cactus the arms and bend the left knee so it hovers just above the mat. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 90-degree angles here. 3 more times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Really press into the right heel to fire up that glute. 1 more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, plant the hands. High to low plank. Your vinyasa. That might be skipping it and going right back to down dog. From your down dog, lift the left leg to the sky. Step it through. Inhale to rise. Warrior 1. Just a breath here. Interlace the hands behind the back. Open the heart. Exhale, fold. Just a cycle of breath here. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior 3. Shift weight into left foot, 2 breaths. Start to bend into the left knee. Step the right toes all the way back for a high lunge. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky, and take 2 breaths to settle in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hover. 4 90-degree angles, this time pressing into the left foot. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Inhale up. Exhale, hover. Inhale up, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands. Vinyasa or right back to down dog. And before we add on, let's take a cleansing breath in down dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out through the mouth, stick out the tongue. 1 more time, lion's breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out, stick out the tongue. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, interlace the hands. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. Cycle a breath here. On your next inhale, you look up halfway. And then come into your warrior 3. Just 1 cycle of breath this time. Slowly start to bend into the right knee. Step it all the way back. Crescent lunge. Just 2 breaths here. And then we'll find that movement. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. So take a couple breaths in your warrior 2. Maybe let the arms down for a second. Let them relax. And then bring the arms out to a T, relaxing the shoulders. Just take 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. And then go ahead and take the left hand behind the back, grabbing on to either the back of the shirt or all the way to the right hip crease. Pressing the left shoulder down and back, reaching the right hand up and over, breathing space into the right side body. 3 breaths. Inhale, slowly start to unwind. Warrior two for just an inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, vinyasa, or skip it. Right back to downward facing dog. When you get there, inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, interlace hands. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold. One breath here. On your next inhale, you look up halfway. Send the weight into the left heel. Warrior three, just a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly step it back. Crescent lunge. 2 breaths. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, hover. Twice more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hover. One more inhale. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, open, warrior two. You might widen your stance here. Again, letting the arms fall, especially if you've been taking all those vinyasas. Take your gaze over the left middle finger. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Just find 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, and then take the right hand behind the back. Take it to either the left lower back, maybe grab onto your shirt, maybe grab onto the left hip crease. Left arm is up and over the head, reaching. Right shoulder is reaching down and back. And you're breathing into the left side body for 2 breaths. Inhale, slowly start to unwind. Warrior two for just a moment, and then cartwheel the hands, vinyasa, or skip it. We all meet in down dog. Adding on again. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to rise, warrior one, sorry. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior three. Slowly start to bend the right knee. Step it all the way back, crescent lunge. Just an inhale here. Exhale, hover. Twice more, inhale. Exhale, hover. Once more, inhale. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open, warrior two. 2 breaths. And then flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, take that half bind. 2 breaths here. We're adding on 2 poses this time. So slowly start to straighten through the front leg. Bring the right arm parallel to the mat. Maybe step the left foot in a couple inches. Reach right arm forward, left hip back. And we're setting up for bound triangle pose. So your right hand can go wherever it lands. Maybe it's the shin, the mat, the big toe. And focus here on sending that left shoulder back in space. Opening up. 2 breaths. Adding on 1 more pose here. Start to bend into the right knee. Take your gaze past your right toes. Take your fingertips 6 to 8 inches in front of the right foot, and we'll lift up for our bound half moon. Creating that capital L shape with the legs. Having a flex here in that left foot. And try it a little bit harder in this pose, but try to keep sending that left shoulder back. 2 breaths. Maybe switch your gaze, challenge your balance. And then slowly start to bend into the right knee. Step the left foot all the way back. Find warrior two with the bind. And then unwind, cartwheel the hands, vinyasa or skip it. We'll take that all on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, interlace fingers, open heart. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, come halfway up, warrior three. Balance might start to feel a little bit more challenging. Slowly bending into the left knee, step the right foot all the way back, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. One more inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open, warrior two. 2 breaths. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reverse the warrior. Take that bind, right hand towards left hip crease. And then adding on those 2 postures here. Start to straighten through the front leg. Maybe bring the right toes in, just a couple inches. And then bring the left hand parallel to the mat. Left fingertips forward, right hip back. And eventually your left hand will come down to mat, shin, thigh, whatever it catches. Really focus on sending that right shoulder back in space. And moving on to that bound half moon pose. Take a bend back into the left knee. Take your gaze to in front of your left foot. That'll close off your right shoulder a little bit, that's okay. Fingertips about 6 to 8 inches in front of the foot, and then try and open up that right shoulder once more. Finding your balance, sending right shoulder back in space, flexing strongly through right toes. Just 2 breaths here. And then slowly step it back, warrior two with the bind. Inhale, unwind, cartwheel the hands, high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Adding on our final posture, and then we'll flow through the sequence completely. So inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise. Exhale, interlace hands. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale here. Exhale, step it all the way back, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. Just an inhale here. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, find that bind. Full cycle of breath here. And then straighten through the front leg. Set up for that triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left shoulder goes back in space. 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, bend the right knee. Switch your gaze to in front of the right toes and come into your half moon pose. Opening the left shoulder. Maybe play with hovering the right fingers off the mat, challenging the balance. 1 more breath here. And then slowly start to unwind that bind. Bring the left hand to the mat and close off the left hip. So the inner thighs are squeezing together and you're in this sort of standing splits pose. So take an inhale here and we'll find some Shiva squats. Exhale, bend both knees, send the left knee to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, back up. Exhale, Shiva squat. Left knee to right calf. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee, right calf, and hold. See if you can get a little bit lower. And then see if you can bring your hands to heart center. We'll hold for 3, for 2. On 1, slowly start to lower down. Step it all the way back to your plank. Vinyasa, we meet in down dog. Left side, inhale, lift up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to rise. Exhale, interlace hands. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent lunge. Nice and quiet. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hover. One more time. Inhale, crescent. I have a lot of sweat on my face right now. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior 2. I have a sweat droplet in my eye. Nice. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Catch that bind. And then straighten through the front leg. Come into your triangle pose, Trikonasana. 2 breaths here. Switch the gaze, take it in front of the left toes. Half moon with the bind. And then slowly start to unwind that bind. Bring both sets of fingertips to tent on the mat. And we're in this standing split pose with the closed hip. Inhale, reach the right heel to the sky. Exhale, Shiva squat. Right knee to the outside of the left leg. Inhale, up. Exhale, Shiva squat. One more time, inhale, up. Exhale, bend both knees, squat. Send your hips a little bit lower. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. Firing up the glute for 3, for 2. On 1, plant the hands, step it back, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a cleansing breath in down dog. And then we'll flow that sequence through 1 breath per movement. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, sigh it out, open the mouth. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Interlace the hands. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knee, half moon. Inhale to rise. Exhale to stay. Inhale, unwind, standing split. Exhale, Shiva squat, left knee, right calf. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale, Shiva. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, Shiva, hands to heart center. Hold for 3. For 2. On 1, plant the hands, high to low plank. We are moving towards our last side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, interlace. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. One more time, inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, open, warrior 2. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse it. Find your bind. Exhale, straighten front leg. Inhale, set up for triangle. Exhale, move forward. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale. On your next inhale, come into your half moon. Last time on this side. Take a big breath in. Exhale, close off the hip. Standing split. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bring it to the outside of the left leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Shiva. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, Shiva. Bring the hands to heart center. Hold for 3. For 2. On 1, plant the hands, step back to your high plank, vinyasa, or right back to down dog. And when you get to downward facing dog, drop the knees for well-deserved child's pose. Your knees can stay together, your arms can go long behind you, or your knees can come apart, toes keep touching, arms long in front of you. Take a moment here to come back to that slow, even breath. As you're ready, slowly make your way up to a tabletop position, keeping the knees stacked underneath the hips. Start to walk the hands forward into a puppy pose. Your forehead might come down to the mat, maybe the chin or the chest. Nice openness in the shoulders after all those chaturangas and all those binds. As you're ready, slowly start to lift up. Walk the hands back to center. Lift the hips. Find your downward facing dog. From down dog, the right leg lifts to the sky. Open up the hip, drawing some circles. Your shoulders are pretty open here, so if you want to flip your dog or find wild thing, your right foot will come behind your left. Stay on the ball of the right toes for wild thing. Plant both feet for flip dog. Inhale here. Exhale back to 3-legged dog. And pigeon pose. Right knee to right wrist. Settling in here. Untucking the back toes. Making sure the leg is a nice long extension of the hip behind you. Take a couple breaths up right here. Find an angle that works for your leg. So if your hip feels really far from the ground, just walk your heel in a little bit closer to your pubic bone. One more inhale. Exhale, resting pigeon pose, let it all go. If the ground feels really far away and you don't have a yoga block handy, make fists with the hands, stack them on top of each other. Just go ahead and rest your forehead on the top fist. About 5 more slow breaths here. Identify one place in the body where you can soften. Maybe it's the face or the jaw. Maybe it's the hip. Breathing space throughout the whole body, especially the right hip or any areas of tension. As you're ready, when this side feels complete, you'll start to walk the hands back into the center of the body. Inhale, sit straight up. And then on your exhale, coming onto the right seat and bringing the left leg all the way around, the left foot will plant to the outside of the right knee. So we're finding a twist here. Bring the left hand behind the back, just planting it gently. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, cactus the right arm. And hug your, or rather press your right arm into your left knee and your left knee back into your right arm. Your inhales grow the spine longer. Your exhales twist you a little bit deeper. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale. And then slowly start to unwind, taking a quick counter twist to the other side. And then coming back to center and just shimmying that right foot over to the right side, finding Gomukhasana legs. Another deep stretch, hip stretch. Whoa, you should really feel this in the left hip. You can play with bringing your legs more like into a straight line, or bringing them closer to the body. So the closer they are to the body, the easier the stretch will be. If you want a little bit more, you'll play with kind of wiggling the feet towards the top of the mat. Stay here with these Gomukhasana legs, knees stacked on top of one another. You can stick a block or a blanket in between if there's lots of space. And maybe you walk the fingertips forward and fold. And slowly walk the hands back into the center of the body, unwinding the legs here, nice and slow, and then planting the hands, vinyasa or down dog. I'm definitely over vinyasas, but feel free to take those if you want them. And when you get to down dog, you'll take an inhale to lift the left leg to the sky. Maybe draw that left hip open, stacking it over the right. Maybe you take the left toes down, flipping your dog or finding wild thing. Left arm reaches up and over the head. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come back through, three-legged dog. And then bring the left knee to the left wrist. And find your pigeon pose. Untuck the toes. Make sure that right leg is a nice long extension of the hip. Big breath in here. Long exhale. As you're ready, settle in. Resting pigeon pose. Bringing the forehead to the mat. We're stacking those fists and resting the forehead on the top fist. Acknowledge the tension in your body without judgment. And see if you can visualize your breath moving to that area of the body and physically creating space for you to create space mentally. Just a couple more breaths here. As you're ready, walk the hands back into the center of the body, really taking your time to come out of this posture. And then coming on to the left hip, swinging the right leg all the way out in front of you, and then taking the right foot to plant to the outside of the left knee. Right fingertips tent behind the back. Inhale, left fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, cactus the arm and twist. Pressing left arm into right knee, and right knee back into left arm. Gazing past your right shoulder if it's comfortable in the neck. One more inhale. Stay where you are for your exhale. And then slowly start to unwind, taking a little counter twist to the other side. And then coming back to center, shimmying that right foot over to the left. And finding these Gomukhasana legs with the knees stacked on top of one another. Again, feet in towards the body for less intensity. And feet will shimmy towards the top of the mat. The legs might come in a straight line with that stack if your hip is really open here. Maybe sitting upright, maybe folding forward. When this feels complete, walk the hands back into the center of the body, unwinding the legs and sending them out long in front of you. The seat is right in the middle of the mat. Come into your Dandasana pose or staff pose, hands beside the hips. Flex the feet so much that maybe they lift off of the mat. Tuck the chin slightly to the chest. And then inhale, lift up. And exhale to fold. Maybe grab onto the big toes with the peace sign fingers. If you need to bend the knees to do that, you can do so. Take a couple breaths here with the spine nice and long, stretching the hamstrings. When you're ready, you'll release the fingers from the toes. Reach the arms out in front of you and slowly start to come onto your back. And from here, planting the soles of the feet on the mat, you should be able to just lightly touch the heels with the fingers. We're setting up for 2 rounds of bridge pose. Press the forearms, the palms, and the feet into the mat. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Feet are hips distance apart. Imagine that you're squeezing a block in between the inner thighs to engage them. Take 3 deep breaths here. As you're ready, slowly lower down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Take a breath in stillness. And 1 more round. Press feet, palms, forearms into the mat. Lift the hips. Maybe this time you shimmy the shoulders a little bit closer together and clasp the hands together underneath you. And really press the elbows and the hands into the mat to lift the hips a little bit higher. 3 breaths. Slowly unwind the hands, start to lower down. Bring the feet out to outside edges of the mat, right foot on the right side, left foot on the left. And just windshield wiper the legs side to side. When you've had enough of that, squeeze the legs into the center of the body. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe find a happy baby, grabbing onto the inside or the outside edges of the feet. Taking some rock side to side. Maybe straightening through one leg and then the other. Eventually you'll come back to that little tiny ball, giving yourself a hug. Peeling the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Bringing the forehead in towards the knees. Take a deep breath in and allow the body to fill up with tension. Squeeze all the muscles in tight. And as you exhale, let everything go. Shavasana. Final, well-deserved rest. Take a moment to settle in. Identify all the points of contact in the back body that are touching the mat. The heels, the calves, the seat, shoulder blades, the backs of the hands, the back of the head. Let all of those parts of the body really melt into the mat. Feel supported by the ground beneath you. Let the breath be natural again. Let the face be soft. And just let the body settle into rest. Begin to deepen the breath, breathing deeply into the belly, letting the breath escape from the mouth. Add some mindful movement to the breath. Wiggle fingertips and toes. Shake the head, yes or no. Find a full body stretch, maybe reaching the arms long behind you, pointing through the toes. Eventually rolling onto your right side, hugging knees back into chest, using the right bicep as a pillow. And finding a breath or two in the fetal position. And expressing gratitude for our bodies, our practice, the space that we created for ourselves on our mat today. And as you're ready, keep the eyes closed. Press the left hand into the mat and slowly start to come up to a seated position, top of the mat. Maybe crossing the legs, finding a comfortable seat. Bringing the hands to heart center. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in through the nose. Last big exhale of class.